Hi, Peter Charles here, and welcome to my video on river bass. Today we're going to look at something called matching the hatch. Now, you might have heard that expression before. It's used by fly fishermen when they're dealing with a situation where they have to cast a fly that matches the insect that is hatching off the water. And we refer to that as matching the hatch. Well, the same thing can apply to bass as well. Sometimes they're keyed in on a certain bait fish, and if you throw something else at them, they're just not going to pay any attention to it. The video I've got today shows just that situation on the Grand River, where the bass were keyed into a very small bait fish, a little olive thing, and anything big that was thrown at them, they ignored. I was fishing a relatively small fly. My buddy was fishing a much, much larger fly. I got, I don't know, 15 fish thereabouts, and he didn't get a touch. I later went back with a Glossy Shad, and I didn't get a touch with that either. Even though the Glossy Shad is one of my favorite soft plastic baits, and I've got a ton of fish on it, it just didn't work for me. So let's take a look at what I was using, and let's take a look at the results. Oh, there we go. Fish. Still a guy. Oh, what a dink. Oh well, at least there's no skunk today. Here we go. Another one. Another little guy. Again on the strip. Yeah, there we go. Another one. Another dink. He's off. Good. Best thing to happen with the dinks is for them to get off. There we go. Slightly bigger this time. Yeah, that one's a little bit bigger. Boy, they're skinny in here though. Another one. There we go. All the little minnows that were crowded around my feet earlier on were 1.25 inches up to 2 inches. There wasn't anything bigger than 2 inches. And that brown trout weamer I was fishing earlier is about the right size. It's just a little longer than 2 inches, but it's quite sparse, quite thin. Whereas this Glossy Shad is 3.8 inches and quite a bit thicker. And the dinks aren't touching it at all. First off, here's the Glossy Shad, and it's 3.8 inches long, and the fish just weren't touching it. I used a couple of different patterns. This one is the Ghost Minnow. I also used the baby bass version, and this was the fly I caught all the fish on. And it's still got a bit of size to it, but it's quite sparse in the water and comes through the water looking quite small. This is what they were after in terms of size, and when I offered them this, they weren't interested at all. And my buddy's fly was about the size of these Glossy Shads, and they weren't interested in it either. I haven't had a touch on this thing. Nope, it's too big. I need something about half the size. And it wasn't just a matter of where we were fishing. I mean, yeah, there were bass where I was fishing, but my buddy said there was bass busting bait all around him, and he wasn't getting a sniff. It didn't matter. They didn't want that large fly that he was casting. They wanted something small. So keep that in mind when you're fishing. If you're seeing activity, if you're seeing fish busting bait, but you're not getting anything, take a good look at the bait, take a look at the size, take a look at the color, and try to offer them something along the same lines.